Welcome back to episode 119 of the Purple Rain podcast. I see Lisa already got ahead of us. Because I was looking beforehand about who wore number 19, and it was Scott Mitchell. And since then, it's been nobody because, the great Johnny Unitas. So we're going to dedicate this episode to Johnny Unitas, all right? Not Scott Mitchell, the real legend. Welcome back to the Purple Rain podcast. I'm happy that you're here. Happy this guy is here. Happy that I'm here because a little bit to talk about. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say there's a lot to talk about because I would just be lying to you, but I'm not going to do that. Much like Greg Roman lies to us fans about the Volt. We'll get into all of that. But first and foremost, you can find this guy on Instagram and on Twitter at Sutton Def. You know where to find him. You can find me on Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at simplyas10. And most importantly, the joint Instagram, the Instagram of the podcast, the Purple Rain podcast. And once again, I'm going to just hand it off to my guy Sutton Def.
What is going on, everyone? Thank you for coming through to this episode 119 of the Purple Rain podcast. Big shout out to everybody who's here in the live chat. I'm not even going to mince words. I'm just going to bring up everybody who's here live right here, right now. K-Dog is in the house. Mod K-Dog, that is, says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family on this Monday? Hope you all had a great weekend. He also says, please smash that damn like button. I mean, yeah.
Listen.
He's already getting to it. Like we said before, man, you guys have been doing really good with the likes lately. We appreciate it so much. It helps our channel grow. It helps the Rain Gang family grow, and I see the Rain Gang is in the chat already. We already got about 30 people watching live right now, only 2 minutes into the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming through. J Prime 235 is in the house. Lisa Frankel's in the house. Ty Exclusive is in here. Jason Moyer, what's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Tanja Bowman says, hey, PRP, what's happening? What's going on, Tanja? Daryl Turner is in the building, says, here for the live. Finally, I'm usually hashtag replay gang. Shout out to you, Daryl. Daryl, appreciate you for coming through. And if you're not watching live right now, you're like Daryl normally is part of the hashtag replay gang. Thank you guys so much for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Also, leave your comments down below because, of course, you can't participate live in the live chat, which we would love, but we love it just as much if you leave your comments down below with all your questions, comments, anything like that. Raven Ron is in the house, says, what up, PRP? Long wait until training camp. Yeah, what time? What's the date for training camp? When does that kick off officially?
You know what? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't know the exact day. I know it's July. It's just the dead season right now.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
No football, no basketball. It's like, yeah. It's great time to be a UFC fan, though. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I mean the World Cup should be on right now, but FIFA's corrupt selves wanted to have it in Qatar, so it'll be in the winter. So,
yikes. Yeah. Yolanda B is in the house, says, good evening, Rain Gang. I hope everyone is well. We are well. Yolanda, how are you?
Hope you're doing well.
Appreciate you for coming through. Death to Beta says, PRP, what it do? What's good, Death to Beta? Appreciate you for popping out. Isaiah Pope is in the house. My guy says, yo, what's going on, Isaiah? Appreciate you for pulling up to this episode. One Session 27 says, what's up, Rain Gang? I hope everyone's Monday is going well. Yeah, man.
Same to you. Lovely weather. I really can't complain.
Definitely. Black Daniels in the house as usual. Rain Gang, greetings, Alex and Sutton. What's going on, my boy? Appreciate you for popping out. Team Ramey in the house says, yo, what's up? What's going on, Team Ramey?
Yo.
I see my guy Devon Johnson is in here as well. Hashtag PRP.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Says he finally made it for the live. Yeah.
There we go.
We love to see it. Dre's in the house. Let's see. Raven 76B Moore's in the house. Daquan is in the house as well. Man, we appreciate all of you guys for pulling up to this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, thank you so much. Also, make sure you leave a like on the video. But now it is time to get into some Ravens talk, as we always do, about 5 minutes into the show. All right. So the biggest news today that we got, right, was, and you actually texted me about this earlier. You had texted me a link to a video, which I'm actually going to bring up on screen here in a second. And I'm going to, kind of let you guys see that. But Pat McAfee, runs a very popular show during the week. A lot of people watch it. Today, he actually had Darius Butler on, former New England Patriot. Darius Butler was on the show today. And, eventually Lamar Jackson came up in discussion because as of late, a lot of these big wig media heads they've been talking about Lamar Jackson. Whether it be about contracts, whether it be about him not showing up to OTAs, whether it be about what he did or said at minicamp. This, that, and the third, whatever. They're talking about him a whole lot. And Pat McAfee's show, they talked about him today. So I'm not going to mince any more words. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up on screen, Alex, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah. Just so we can show the Rain Gang here. First, let me change our layout for our live viewers in the chat. There we go. All right. So this is what was said from Darius Butler and Pat McAfee earlier today, June 20th, 2022, about Lamar Jackson.
It's going to be a contract year, and he's led the league in passing before. I've seen him be able to dissect and read blitzes or read matchups, but I think the play caller, Greg Roman, kind of has to evolve as well and put more on his plate, to spread it out. Because you got a great run system and great defenses, but you got to be able to pass that ball and make all the throws and make all the reads. And I think Lamar can do it. I just think he needs more weapons and I guess an evolved playbook as well to show those tools.
Greg Roman still being there is wild.
Yeah. Obviously, this is going to be a contract year.
Oh. Right there at the M. Okay. Not a lot to take in, but definitely something. I think you're muted, Sutton, just letting you know. Pat McAfee saying that Greg Roman still being there is wild. So do we want to add this to the list of people that have called out the Ravens offensive coordinator? Because, there are people that don't like that when Greg Roman is called out by fans because, we don't know what we're talking about. And sometimes that is correct. But when NFL players, just people that have been in the league call them out, and we just add to this list, what is that saying? I want to know.
I mean, honestly, it's saying a whole lot. I mean, because like you said, everybody likes this. Everybody who's anybody, these professional athletes, even people in the media, when us just regular fans try to say anything about anything, it's all, oh, you guys don't know football, you guys don't know this, you guys don't know that. But when it comes down to Greg Roman, we've seen countless times, and I mean, do we need to go to the list again? I mean, we've got Steve Smith, most recently Willie Snead, most recently Darius Butler and Pat McAfee, and then among way others too. I mean, it's many others. It's crazy. Phillip Rivers,
Warner.
There's a lot of other people, who have said things about Greg Roman and how his offense really just is not as advanced or as complex as it should be to aid the passing game as much as it does the run. So very interesting here, but not a surprise to me. I mean, you sent me this earlier today, and I thought it was going to be some smoking gun or something like that. And I hear it, and I'm like, okay, this is just what we've been hearing from everybody else. But it did kind of pose a question in my mind, right? It made me think, if everybody else, all these other professionals, former players, coaches, things like that, if everybody else is seeing it, why aren't the Ravens seeing it? That's the question.
I mean, you would have thought they would have seen it by him having a passing game ranked in the lower half of the league every single year, except this past season when we were basically forced to throw because the running backs were hurt. And I'm going to keep saying it, the NFL is a passing league now. I don't see a team that is run first or is very run heavy will win a Super Bowl. I mean, hopefully I'm proven wrong with the Ravens. I really hope so. Fingers crossed. But I just can't see it happening. I mean, if the NFL was a running league, bro, the Titans would have been running away with championships. Or the Ravens would have. Or Greg Roman maybe would have had a Super Bowl to his name and would have been a head coach. But instead, what has he been? Has he even been interviewed for an offensive coordinator position or a head coach since 2019? No. Team Martin was interviewed him,
no?
In 2019. But since then, he hasn't gotten anything. And I feel for me, I mean, that should say something enough. If I'm an NFL head coach, I want my coach to get an interview. That means I'm doing a really good job with them. Yeah. I don't think he's getting, what's going on with him? Yeah. I think he was coaching high school before the Ravens brought him out because he's friends with the Harbaughs. And I'm going to say it again. Why is it a business with the players, but not a business with the coaches? Keep that same energy.
And that's an interesting point because I was just getting ready to ask you and the Rain Gang, well, am I wrong when I say I think it comes down to John Harbaugh, and who he really wants in this good old boys club, No. Now, of course, John Harbaugh, he is a great coach. He's got 2 Super Bowls under his wing. You can't, not 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl under his wing. The Ravens have 2 as a franchise. You can't take that 1 Super Bowl away from him. And then all the wins, things like that. He's had a really great career as a coach, as a head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. But where you could slight him is kind of his loyalty and how it can be a detriment to him and the team. You look at Greg Roman and what this offense has done over the past couple of seasons. They've been doing nothing since 2019 but getting figured out. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, 2018, Lamar Jackson comes in, you kind of catch everybody by surprise mid-season. 2019 season comes out, you kind of do it again, catching lightning in a bottle, which Greg Roman tends to do a lot with his offenses. Like you always say, he always is successful in his first season, right? And then it just goes downhill. So and here's another thing. I wanted to ask you this, Alex, because I don't know the answer to this question.
What's up?
What is Greg Roman's contract with the Ravens?
Ooh,
what is his contract?
I don't know. They tend to keep the coach's contract pretty in house. I'm not too sure when it ends. I think I want to say maybe after this season. Maybe I don't know for sure. I think got an extension in 2019. I really don't know when. I 100% don't know when. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
I feel like, logically thinking, right? I feel like this has got to be the last year on his contract. You look at what happened, what transpired last year. The Ravens were, oh my goodness, just riddled with injuries. It was terrible, right? Just the whole entire roster was ravaged with injuries. So that was, I know, the I word, the infamous I word. Yeah. But that was kind of like the scapegoat for why the season was so unsuccessful.
We called it. We called it. We knew it.
We called that right here on the Purple Rain podcast. We knew that.
And once again, I say keep the same energy, but Wink is gone.
Yeah.
Don Martindale is gone. Greg Roman's here. So does it only apply to one person? What's up with that? See, I'm not too sure. That is kind of contradicting themselves, I think.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that, going into last season, hypothetically speaking, if Roman had 2 years left on his deal going into last season, and then last season, whatever happened, there was the infamous I word. We barely had players to suit up. We were bringing guys from the practice squad. After that season, they're like, okay, well, we suffered from a lot of, infamous I word again. And we're not going to put all the blame on Gregory Roman for our setbacks this season,
Yeah.
So we're going to give him one more year. He's going into his last year on his contract. Instead of just moving him out and having to pay him his guaranteed money anyway and getting somebody else in, let's keep him for one more season. It's kind of like a prove it year. Hey, Greg, if you can come out here and you can get us at least 2 playoff wins, we'll get you another extension. But if you come out here and when we don't win more than 1 playoff game, we don't make it past the wild card round, you got to go. It's your contract year. We're going to move on. I think that's where the Ravens are at with it. And I know you said they keep those cards kind of close to their chest when it comes to the coach's contract, things like that. But that would make sense to me, of what they're doing with what they're doing. What do you think about that?
I mean, who even knows what they're going to do at this point with him? I really want to believe that maybe T. Martin's up next, and I just don't know how short this leash is. If he's on a short leash, I don't know what would entail. I mean, you could be a successful team. You could have a winning record, and you can still fire the offensive coordinator, i.e. 2012 with Cam Cameron.
Yeah.
Do I think they would do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think they would just keep with what they're comfortable with. And I've kind of noticed that. We do keep with, if we're comfortable, we'll stick with that. They don't want to get uncomfortable because they're not used to that. I mean, I just I'm rooting for the best, expecting the worst. As bad as it sounds.
Yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. The Don is in the house. Says everyone hit that like for Sutton and Alex. What's going on, Don? We appreciate you for coming through. Let me see. Larry Davis says Top Billin does a great analysis of the Detroit game that shows Giro trying to be more creative. He used the spread offense big time. Jet drop touchdown passes in that game. Maybe he has adjusted, and we will see.
I want to believe he has, but at the same time, that was the 3rd game of the season. There was 14 more games. I get he was working with guys who didn't have a job before, but even then, he caught a great week 2 game. We both agree. I don't know what he did in that game, but he just caught an amazing game. After that, it kind of just went downhill. What happened?
Yeah, that week 2 game, Villanueva also played really well too, so that helped us out a bunch.
That was we just got lucky, I think, with that game all around.
For sure.
Had to be.
Let me see what else you guys are saying here in the live chat. Make sure you leave your comments, questions down below on what we're talking about right now. Pat McAfee, Darius Butler calling out Greg Roman. Not the first, not the second, not the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth, or ninth, or maybe even 10th person to do so. But it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. So the question we're posing once again, yet again, is why do the Ravens not see this while everybody else in the media, former players, coaches, everybody else can see it? There's a problem here with the offense. You know, basically what Darius Butler was saying earlier today was that, you know, they need to take the training wheels off. They need to take the training wheels off for Lamar. He needs to get a more complex playbook, you know, open up that playbook for him. You know, Lamar Jackson is not all about his legs. The Ravens, and Greg Roman to be specific, has fallen in love, madly in love with Lamar Jackson's legs and not enough of his arm, which I don't think is fair to Lamar. I don't think it's fair to the offense, and it's been only a detriment to the offense because, yeah, we're really, really good in the regular season when teams don't really have as much time to prepare for the Ravens style of offense. When the playoffs comes, it's not like these coaches, and I think he was saying this in the interview as well. It's not like these coaches in the playoffs are preparing for the team they have this week and then kind of halfway preparing for the team they have next week as well. They're looking at one team in front of them in the playoffs. It's do or die. So you lock in on everything that you can do to shut that down, and shut down what they want to do the best. So I don't know, dude. I just think that with that being said, Greg Roman, he's proven time and time again to not be that coach for us, to make adjustments when it's really time to step up in the playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know what we're missing that the Ravens are seeing, but, you know.
I mean, I think it's a problem when everybody kind of calls out his cons. Everybody knows his cons is just the lackluster pass game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened for 10 years, 11 years now. I get people trying to defend him and stuff, but if he hasn't changed in 10, 11 years, he's not going to change at all. And I think as Ravens fans, I think we got to let go of the 2019 year. I don't like seeing highlights from it. I just feel like we're just holding on to what the Cowboys holding to in the 90s. Got to let it go.
Yeah.
We're in 2022 now. Let's just go with what we have. It's a completely different receiving core, completely different offensive line. Only thing that's kind of the same is the quarterback and then one of our running backs and the tight end. But I just think it's time for a change. I think the staff is holding on to that too, because they're mentioning how the whole 2019 stuff, bro, that was pre-pandemic. That was pre-mask. That's over with. Let's look forward to the future, and they're looking more towards the past. And
Right.
That's my final words on that.
Yeah. Well, we do have our first super chat donation coming in of this episode of Purple Rain Podcast. We appreciate you so much, Yolanda, for sending us this donation. She says, will the Ravens fire Giro early or by mid-season if our offense has slow starts like last season?
I mean,
This is the whole short leash conversation.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to think about, let's just go game by game, I think, with our offense last year. Week 1, I thought the offense was really good with the Raiders. I thought the passing game was looking good. The run game was terrible that first game. And I'm not going to add a lot of promise after that Raiders game. I don't know how you felt. I'm like, Sammy and Marquise Brown look really good together. Week 2, I thought he caught a great game. Week 3 is when the whole stuff started happening, but Hollywood had some drops. Kind of was like, okay. Broncos game is kind of when I feel like it started falling flat. We won, but the offense really didn't impress me. It was the Hollywood Brown amazing catch. And I think from there on, the offense just kind of looked lackluster in my opinion. Definitely didn't compete to its potential.
Yeah. I mean, to answer your question, Yolanda, I think that, yes, the Ravens would get rid of or move off of Giro by mid-season if they see that the passing concepts are the main things that are struggling and reasons why we're not winning games. If we are winning games, let's say by mid-season, we are what? We have 8. Let's say we're 8-3. Let's say we're 8-3,
Again.
just like last year. You know, I don't think the Ravens would fire him, especially if we're getting it done with good defense and a solid running game. As long as we're getting wins on the football field, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the rest of the Ravens organization, to the higher ups in that organization, to the front office. As long as we're getting wins in the regular season, it doesn't matter. When we get to the playoffs and we have those mishaps and we get bounced out in the first round or the second round, the divisional, whatever, the Ravens front office, they're going to look back to the regular season and say, hey, Well, Greg Roman, he produced a pretty solid offense running the football. We put up some pretty decent yards. We got some wins out of that. We were able to lean on teams. We were able to do what we wanted to do. That's what the Ravens front office will say. And for that reason, they're going to give him another extension. That's what I think. But if we are losing games, if we're losing games, let's say we're 4-5 around that time.
2018, Allah.
Exactly. Let's say we're 4-5. I think he's got to go. And I think the Ravens realize he's got to go as well, because this is kind of the last year before they kind of have to pay Lamar. If they don't get a deal done going into the season, going to the season, they're going to know that this is the last season that we're going to have Lamar Jackson on this rookie contract.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have to start making some decisions, franchise tag or give him that deal that he wants. So they kind of know the window's closing. So that's what I mean.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think they would fire him. I really don't. If they didn't fire Marty Morningwig midseason, Mark Trestman midseason, they're not going to fire the guy up there midseason, unfortunately. And I'm not going to root for us to lose, because I want that to happen. I want us to win as much as possible. So I think I'm going to get ready for another year of G-Roll. I hope he changes. Don't expect it. Because if I expect it, then it's just not going to happen. But, and now we have another super chat from Social Raven saying, what's the weaker position, linebackers or wide receivers? And this is a great question.
Yes.
Thank you once again for the nice little super chat. I don't know. Because I feel like we have better coaching wide receiver wise than linebacker, because we have a T. Martin and Keith Williams. We have Zach Ward linebacker. I don't know. I think we've seen more from linebackers than the receivers that we have on the team.
Yeah, I can agree with that. This is actually a really good question.
Yeah.
This is a really good question.
This is by far our weakest positions on the team, on each side of the ball. I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, I would say that. Weaker position, linebackers or wide receivers. Like you said, we have seen more out of the linebackers as opposed to the receivers, but I think that's just kind of by the Ravens' nature. They want to run the ball on offense, and on defense, their linebackers are known for being, heavily a part of that defense. So I would say the weaker position right now, I'm going to say wide receiver.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I mean, Bynes definitely helps out the linebackers a lot.
Yeah.
And who knows if we were to bring somebody else in.
Right. Just on the wide receiving core, there's that sheer lack of veteran presence that is not there on the linebacker side,
Right.
So for that reason, I would say the wide receiver core is the weaker position.
Doesn't mean that, they can't ball out this year, 100%.
Right.
But.
Right. And I see a bunch of questions here in the chat.
Yeah.
Alex, I don't know if you are down to go ahead and transition.
Let's do it. I think because I still got more to talk about with the whole the Roman thing, definitely.
Okay. I mean, I see questions about Roman too.
Let's do it.
So I'm sure we'll get to it. With that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and open up the floor for our Rain Gang question segment. A little bit early on this episode, but rightfully so. We want to, kind of get you guys' opinions on things. We want to know what you guys are thinking about, and then we want to kind of respond to that as well. So right here, right now, you can leave your questions down below in the chat, and we will get to them as we see fit. Social Raven, just here with another super chat donation. We appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, man. Just absolutely making it rain. Him and Yolanda as well, making it rain here on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like this video, guys. Go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you guys so much for 2,200 subscribers. We appreciate you guys. 2,200 subscribers. That is huge for us. So thank you guys so much. Social Raven says, not to be dramatic and sorry in advance. Did it why no one is talking about when Lamar said, don't know, we're having a conversation when asked about training camp?
I thought he was going to be there. I think they were saying we're having a conversation, everything. That's all I heard. I don't know if I picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean, no, because remember, I brought this up in the last episode. And I was saying Lamar Jackson, he did say in response to a question asking him, hey, look, if a deal doesn't get done before training camp, before the season, will you be suiting up and will you be playing? He said, I don't know. We're in conversation. That's what he said, So I think it's just more. I think it's more of Lamar just kind of holding his cards close to his chest again.
Yeah, I don't.
Rather than him saying that, hey, I mean, I might not play this year. If the money's not talking right, I don't think it's that. Yeah. But yeah.
I just think it's kind of like you said, just not going to give too much information because they took one little sentence and turn into a headline on multiple things. And he knows that. He knows
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Literally, one sentence from Lamar Jackson is a week's worth of content.
He has to just do the Marshawn Lynch, I'm here so I don't get fined. Honestly.
Yeah.
I just want to see that from him next. I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, and we've talked about this before. You got to protect your energy, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're Lamar Jackson, you're a 24-year-old kid who is being scrutinized by people that are younger than him, people that are much older than him, people who have never met him, probably people who have known him for years.
People that root for him to fail.
Exactly. So it's just like, if you're him, you kind of don't want these people talking crazy about you. You know, he's a human too at the end of the day. That's what people forget. These athletes, they are human. They are human, you know. But thank you so much again, Social Raven, for your super chat donation. We appreciate you. Let me see what else you guys are saying in here in the chat. Another super chat donation. This one coming from KJ. KJ, thank you.
Yes, thank you, KJ.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, bro. Says, do you think Lamar Jackson likes Greg Roman? You know, I was actually thinking about this earlier today, KJ. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, Lamar has never really come out and said anything about Greg Roman in either a positive or a negative light.
Right. I think it's just business. Straight business.
It's just business. But if I think that he genuinely likes Greg Roman, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. And the reason why I say no is because we know how close he was to Hollywood Brown. We know how disgruntled Hollywood Brown was with the Ravens offense and the lack of, you know, over the top passing ability, plays like, you know, scheme, things like that. And you got to remember, Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown at one point were best friends. I don't know how much they communicate still now. I'm sure they do. But they were going home after games, like Lamar Jackson just said. They were in the car listening to music. I'm sure they talked about stuff. I'm sure they talked about the game. I'm sure they talked about their coaches. You know, and if Hollywood Brown, especially in the midst of him saying, "Oh, you got soldiers, you don't never use them," I'm sure he was in Lamar's ear about how he was upset with Roman.
Yep.
And I'm sure Lamar probably voiced his opinion at some point about that too. His honest and truthful, no media around opinion. So I'm kind of taking the whole where there's smoke, there's fire approach via Hollywood Brown. But to answer your question, KJ, I don't think that Greg Roman is favored by Lamar Jackson when it comes to the offensive play calling. And who knows? Maybe we'll learn more about that this season, but that's my answer.
That's an answer and a half right there, because I know I always hear the tight ends and the fullbacks talk about him, but not the wide receivers and the quarterback.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
You're right. Let me see what else you guys are saying here. Justin Roberts here says, hit the like button for the gang. Hashtag
Thank you,
TRP.
Justin.
Hashtag Ravensflock. Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate you. All right. What other questions do you guys have in the chat? Lisa reminding us again that Lamar Jackson is 25. Thank you so much, Lisa. I keep forgetting that his birthday was just a few months ago. Let's see. Zeke Okage says, what's good, Rain Gang? I hope y'all had a blessed day.
Back at you, Zeke. Thank you.
Back at you, likewise. We appreciate you for coming through. Other questions I see here in the chat. I'm going to bring up. Larry Davis says, I love what I am hearing from the wide receiver room. One issue is why Devin Duvernay is not at the press conferences with Bateman and Prochet. He also was not in Cali. What's up with that? Duvernay had an interview the day before them, right?
I thought he talked to the media at one time, but I'm not going to put too much stock in it. Only thing I'll care about is if he's not there when the whole offense is going to be in Florida. But until then, I'm not going to put any stock into that. They were all playing at minicamp, all practicing. So we'll see. Give it like a month. Because I know the whole offense is going down there. It's like I said, if Duvernay's not there, then I have a problem with it or worry about it. But
well, yeah, I mean, I super have a problem with it because if you think about it, Devin Duvernay, he's kind of by default next in line to be a wide receiver too. I know we've seen so many things about Prochet hanging out with Bateman, and now by association, we know Bateman is number one, but by association, since Prochet's been hanging out with Bateman, Prochet kind of seems to be the consensus. Oh, this is our number two guy. We want to see him get more production in the offense this year. But Devin Duvernay has actually played more in that wide receiver system, in that wide receiving core than James Prochet has. He's had more snaps. We know the Ravens like to utilize him more on offense. So who really has that wide receiver 2 spot right now? Is it James Prochet or is it Devin Duvernay?
I just think it's Duvernay. I still think. I mean, with
now,
the coaching. I mean, let's just talk about their strengths. I think Duvernay will be better as a 3 because he's fast as hell. They would just get lost over the middle and just the yak, personally. But as for, I think the whole Cali stuff, if Marquise Brown was traded by then, maybe would have had a bigger problem with it. I know Prochet and Duvernay still hang out like that. I think the chemistry in the wide receiver room, I think, is 100%. I'm not going to speculate about any of that. They're all good. I'm not going to speculate about this because I think it's just like just rumors, not even a rumor, because we don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So,
yeah. Let me see what else you guys are saying here. Manuel's Cod Channel says simply, do you think Lamar will reach Ultra Instinct this year?
As long as that offensive line holds up, which I have all the reason in the world to believe it will.
Yeah. Again, if Ronnie Stanley can come back and, get back to that Pro Bowl form, then yes, to answer your question, Emmanuel, I do think Lamar Jackson can reach quote-unquote Ultra Instinct this year. Hey, we can get back to those Jackson 5s. And
like I said, we haven't seen one of them since 2019. Like I said, please, I want to let it go. I'm tired of seeing just some of this. I'm like, bro, 3 years ago.
Let's see what else we have here. This one, well, look, we got Mod Boz. Mod Boz is in the house. What's going on? Says, yo, Rain Gang. What's going on? He's not with you today? No Boz?
He's not. Boz is not here.
Oh, man. I didn't get to say what's up to him before we went live, so I'm sad, Boz. Just to let you know, I'm sad. Let me see. Daryl Turner says, thoughts on Isaiah Likely. I worked with Coastal Football for a few years, so I know him personally. I always thought he was a stud and was so excited we drafted him. Very talented tight end, in my opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be honest. I think so. When I was making the videos for like the draft, and I saw him hurdling somebody, I'm like, this tight end fits with the Ravens. Like, I didn't think we were gonna draft a tight end, so I'm like, I'm not gonna put too much stock into it. But like, seeing it now, 100% is like a Raven tight end. I mean, outside the hurdling, can catch, can the yak after. I mean, he's fast for a tight end. Like I said, I know Greg Roman was salivating. He was salivating even talking about him in the rookie Wired. He was, the way he was looking at him, he was like a proud father. So I definitely think he'll suit this offense great. And I think he'll have a really, really good rookie season.
Yeah. I mean, Isaiah Likely, I'm super duper excited about him and what he can offer to this team. It kind of reminds me, and I know you said, Alex, we got to let go of the 2019 football season. I get that. But those 3 tight end sets we had, Mark Andrews, Boyle, Hayden Hurst, I'm hoping that since we do have Roman, listen, at this point, we're going to have him. We got to live with it, whatever, and we know what he likes to do. We know what he thrives with the most.
It's just a toxic relationship, the fans and Roman. Like, you want more, you expect more, not going to get more.
Yeah. So it's like the least we could do is have personnel that fits with his system, and Isaiah Likely seems to kind of match that image that Greg Roman is looking for in his offense with tight ends, things like that. So I'm very excited for Isaiah Likely, honestly. I mean, I don't know him personally like you do, Daryl, but I looked at the video that Simply posted. I looked at some of the film that some people posted as well, and I'm very excited to see what we can do with him. See what we can do with that guy.
And especially when you have a guy like Mark Andrews, I think Likely won't get that much attention. So I can see him opening up more.
Yeah, catch radius. Catch radius is another big thing too. Like Isaiah Likely, having a Mark Andrews as well. Like having these guys who can just kind of go up and get it. The red zone is going to be really, really nice. It's going to be really fun this year. I'm really excited to see what we can do when we are within 20 yards of scoring the football. The creativity should be there. It should be there.
Oh, creativity. I don't think that word is in Greg Roman's vernacular.
Might not be. Honestly, might not be.
Run game it is. Pass game.
Let me see. Got a question from Don C. Says, at Sutton, is that your shirt design? Absolutely. Yes, it is. You can actually buy this on olurclothing.com. That's OLUR clothing.com. Thank you, Don, for pointing that out.
I like the little tidbit. Don picked it up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Don.
Balti Raven. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Balti Raven as well. Says, smash that like button. Absolutely. How many likes are we at? Can we get a like check?
I got you. We are at 51. 115 people watching. Can we get to 70? 75.
75. Okay. Yeah.
That's for 24 more likes.
Like the video, guys. Like the video. Tanja says, "Did you see my question, Sutton?" I did
Ooh.
not see your
Got a
question.
Tanja question coming up. It's gonna be a good one. So I know it's gonna be a good one.
I know. She's always got good questions. She says, "Question: How
Ooh.
much do you see John Harbaugh letting Keith and T. Martin help out in the passing scheme? Because let's face it, Roman has no answers for the passing game, especially in the playoffs."
See, is this the reason why the pass game was number 14 last year, or was it because of the I word? I think they had a big influence, a huge
Early in the
influence.
season, yeah.
100%. 100%. 100%.
I mean, it's a good point, bro. It's a good point. I definitely think that they need to be more involved, a lot more involved, man. They need to be brought to the forefront of, that the decision-making table when it comes to offensive coordination. It's perfectly fine for Greg Roman to take the reins and, on the run game and kind of coordinate that down to a T. But guys like T. Martin and Keith Williams, they're literally in there to help you with the passing game. So have them, take their word for it, right? Take their word for it. Let's go with some of their decisions. Because if we continue to struggle in the passing game, we're not going to win a Super Bowl. Just like if we continue to struggle getting to the other team's quarterback, things like that, we're not going to win a Super Bowl. Things like that. So to answer your question, Tanja, I definitely think that T. Martin and Keith Williams, they need to be a lot more involved.
Yeah, I saw something today, I don't know if it was YouTube or on Twitter, talking about how the Ravens passed 59 times in that loss against the Titans, and I'm like, we passed so many times because we were playing from behind, and I just we were playing from behind. We were playing from behind in the playoff games, in the games that matter. The games that don't matter, we have no problem, and that's a huge problem in itself.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, dude. Playoff success is going to be the whole name of the game this year. I know we did not make the playoffs last season, but going into this season healthy, the expectations are going to be there for the Ravens to not only make the playoffs, but to make a playoff run. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. I'm sorry. They just aren't. All right. Let's see. We'll take some more questions from you guys in here. I see my guys from Lunch Break Hot Taker in the building as well. It says hashtag Rain Gang. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys for pulling up. Make sure you guys head over to their channel. Check them out as well. They always come out with videos every week, just like we do. Make sure you guys check out Lunch Break Hot Take on YouTube.
Yes.
A few more questions here. Well, I see my guy Steve Moan is in the house. Says, hey, what's up, my guys? My Rain Gang family. Are you concerned with Daniel Falele, Sutton, and Alex, Steve, and Glenn Burney? Daniel Falele not signing yet. How concerned are you about that?
I'm not concerned at all. I got bigger things to worry about than him signing. Honestly, he'll eventually sign. If he wasn't practicing, I would care, but I don't. He'll sign.
Yeah. Let's see. Question coming from Jay says, so where is Kyle Hamilton going to start? Because isn't it Marcus Williams at free safety and Chuck Clark at strong safety? So where is Kyle going to be at?
Yes. Kyle Hamilton won't be starting, but he'll be playing, I expect, everywhere.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. He's not going to be at one position. He'll be floating around.
But do you like that, though, for a rookie? You don't want to get him settled in?
Let that man play. Just let him play off instincts, show why he was the first-round pick. Smart. I mean, if he was wearing the green dot and is still wearing the green dot, that just goes to show me how smart he is. And I would have no problem with that. But, I mean, I think Chuck Clark wouldn't be starting, to be honest. Or if anything, he'd be in the box, a box safety. Because they do run 3 safety sets. I know McDonald does.
Right. I mean, I definitely think that Kyle Hamilton, he needs to be starting at one of those safety positions, period. At this point, he's more valuable. First round pick is more valuable than Chuck Clark's contract. It is. You drafted this guy at number 14 when you were expected to go ahead and draft a completely different position. This guy has got to be on the football field on Sundays from day one.
You can't pass on him. They couldn't pass on this guy.
Exactly. You can't pass on him, so you can't pass on him on the field. You have to put him on the floor. Not the floor, but the field. Thinking of basketball. You got to put him on the field, for sure. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. A few more questions from you guys. I see my guy King95 is in the house. Says, Williams and Hamilton are our starting safeties. Chuck will be phased out. Larry Davis says, Rooks do not wear that green dot.
He was wearing it, I believe.
Yeah.
I know that clip came out. He was wearing it.
Yeah. Let's see. We do have another super chat donation. This one coming from Balti Raven. Thank you so
What's going
much,
on?
man. Thank you so much. Making it rain
you.
here. Making it rain. Episode 119 of the Purple Rain podcast. Like the video just for Balti Raven, man. Like it for Balti Raven.
For that.
Yeah. We appreciate you. Says projected yards and touchdowns for Bateman in 2022.
I think we've said 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, I believe.
I said 1,100. I said 1,100.
1,100.
And at least 8. Yeah.
I think that's it. For me, over 1K yards and more than 7 touchdowns. Or 7 touchdowns. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like this is Rashad Bateman and Lamar Jackson's year. To kind of like just have that coming out party. I mean, they were working out right after the Super Bowl, just like we said in the last episode. So you know that they want to establish a connection on the field. So,
I mean, I'm not expecting him to get double-digit touchdowns because I know like in the red zone it's more of the tight end area, but I think 1K yards he's definitely going to hit. Barring, I mean, as long as he's healthy, plays every game, he's hitting 1K, 100%. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised with 1,200. Hollywood had a little over 1,000, but the drops last year really hurt him. So who knows what Rashad?
Lisa says 1,500.
All right,
for Rashad.
I think we gotta slow down real quick. Let's slow down.
We're really gonna turn into a passing offense. That'll be interesting. That would be interesting. Isaiah Pope says Kyle Hamilton is a safety first, but he will also bolster their run defense and even playing slot. A monster hybrid with sideline to sideline speed.
I mean, yeah, you got to have him on the field, just the way he plays.
Yeah.
Like, he literally was midway at the field, ran over and had a pass break up. Marcus Williams did the same thing. You got to have, that guy's got to be starting. I don't care if feelings are hurt. Nah, he's got to be starting.
Yeah. Isaiah Pope also says, hopefully they can see that Kyle can play all over like Derwin James. Yeah. I mean,
good company.
It is very good company. And Pope brings up a good point here. Like, just being able to have a guy like Kyle Hamilton who eventually, and like I said before, I don't want him to necessarily be all over the place at the beginning of the season. He's going to have to get used to the game speed of the NFL because it's a lot different than college than it was in Notre Dame for him. So I would rather him get settled in at a specific position and then start to kind of move him around, maybe throughout the season, that sort of thing, as he gets more comfortable, as the game kind of slows down for him. We know he's a very smart guy, but the NFL, listen, it takes all these rookies by storm, man. Like, all of these guys have a welcome to the NFL moment, and I would like to minimize those moments for a Kyle Hamilton. So that later on, so it won't stun his confidence, because if we have him all over the place and he's getting beat in certain places, things like that, it's going to stun his growth. It's going to stun his confidence. I would rather work him in and then kind of try to move him around. But
I mean, I think got to face Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle week 2.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
That would definitely be fun. Jay says, is this Chuck Clark's last year?
I would bet on it, yeah.
Yeah.
If he lasts this year with us.
Let's see. A question from Chike on UK says, hello, people. Do you think that we should trade a bunch of draft capital to get someone like a Deebo Samuel? Because with him, we can absolutely win now and beat a fully loaded Cincinnati.
I don't think they're letting Deebo Samuel go. Their GM, John Lynch, has said multiple times they won't let him go. I know Deebo, for what it's worth, I think refollow the 49ers. I think I heard that. I don't think they're going to let him go, and I think they would be just stupid to let him go. I can't see him getting traded.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. Let me see. Another Super Chat donation. This one's coming from Chike again.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Chike.
you. Making it rain here on episode 119 of PRP. Says thoughts on getting Deebo Samuel in exchange for a lot of draft capital. I believe we can go to the Super Bowl with that offensive and defensive line. Getting Deebo in exchange for a lot of draft capital, that's not the Ravens' MO. It's not what they do.
Yeah, that's not the Raven way.
Right, it's really not the Raven way. But getting a Deebo Samuel, there's nothing I can sit up here and say to you guys to try to discount what he could do for the Ravens offense. He would be lethal. He would be devastating. Lamar Jackson, Deebo Samuel, those running backs, those tight ends, it would be hell.
I would love
hell to
it.
pay.
I would love it.
Yeah, me too. But at the same time, though, giving up all that draft capital, so you're basically with this, you're telling me that you would rather have Deebo Samuel rather than getting a Kyle Hamilton. When Kyle Hamilton, he's gonna prove to you guys. He's gonna prove. I feel like this is just my personal opinion. I think he's gonna prove to everybody that safeties, good safety play, is what you need again in the NFL, because you have all these guys, these teams that have quarterbacks with big arms who can push the ball down the field. If you don't have safeties who are see ball, get ball kind of guys, you're gonna get burned. Yeah. You're gonna get burned. So I think that Kyle Hamilton kind of restores that faith in the safety position. It becomes more valued of a position. And with that being said, I don't think that, Deebo Samuel was worth what we got in a guy like him or Lamar Help and Tyler Linderbaum.
What do you think would have been a fair trade compensation for Deebo Samuel?
From us?
Yeah. Or from any team. Because I just want to see what you say, and then I'll take it from there.
Fair trade comp for Deebo Samuel, I would probably say, that's a great question. If we wanted to get a really good deal, I would say a second-round pick and Gus Edwards.
Okay. So with just draft capital, would you say, what else? Would you push a first for him?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. No.
So a second rounder, which ended up being Ojabo and Edwards for Deebo Samuel. Some people have said a first might do it, which you would be throwing in a Linderbaum or a Hamilton. Yeah. I just can't see the Ravens doing it. I just can't. I don't think they will. Yeah. I don't think they have any reason. Well, they have a reason to do it, but they're not going to do it. When have we ever traded for a big name wide receiver? We signed Anquan Bolden, and he wasn't. Yeah. That's neither here nor there, but I can't see it happening.
It's the same reason we would never, at least in my opinion, I don't think that the Ravens would ever go for a DK Metcalf, especially at this point in his career. AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, these type of guys who are kind of like on the up and coming of their career as wide receivers. They're gonna get ready for these big paydays coming up here soon. We're not going with those guys. We want guys who we can draft, have them, keep them for 3-4 years, and then maybe move off of them and draft another guy, and then maybe sign an older veteran receiver for a small amount of money. That's what the Ravens want to do. That's the Raven way, like you say.
I think it's cute that people call the Eagles run first offense when AJ Brown got traded there. They have a Devonta Smith. I think that should be the blueprint for the Ravens offense. I could get some hate for this. I could, but I think if the Ravens put the type of receivers they have, I didn't think the Eagles had any chance of being in the playoffs last year, and they were. I'll give them all kudos to that. And the fact they're building up, they're trying to get this offense that, let's say if Jalen Hurts doesn't work, they can get another quarterback and throw him in there. I applaud them because I didn't think A.J. Brown was going to go to the Eagles. But I'm like, A.J. Brown had to approve that trade. He wanted to go there. So if you're a run-first team with a team that can have a good passing concept, who knows? Ravens, take notes.
Yeah, definitely take notes. Let's see. 410 Byron says he spoke to Gus Edwards at his job today. He's taking everything one day at a time. He's feeling like he'll be ready for week 1. That's pretty cool.
Love that. Yeah. Thank you, Byron. Getting the inside scoop for us.
We love that. Let's see. Twisted Purple Bird with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Twisted Purple Bird, making it rain here on episode 119 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video. Yes. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. It says, what player for fantasy on the Ravens other than Lamar Jackson? This is a good question too, but I think it's obvious though. Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I never draft Ravens players, but Cooper Kupp, can't go wrong with him. I think we'll just get more targets. Mark Andrews, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Andrews.
Oh, you're saying for the Ravens? On the Ravens?
Yeah,
Ravens. Andrews. Yeah, I'm not taking any Ravens wide receiver. Sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. It's way too boomer bust.
No.
Way too
and
boomer bust.
And not even the running backs either, because you don't know who's gonna have a good. No.
Exactly. Everything's by committee in Baltimore, unless you're Lamar Jackson. Everything runs through him.
Yeah.
But yeah, good question though. Jay says, you think we are gonna stick with what we have at wideout? I think we are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and it's funny because EDC earlier in the offseason, he was saying, we're not done at the wide receiver position. We're gonna still make some more moves. We're gonna do our quote unquote due diligence, try to bring in some guys, that sort of thing. But at this point, though, it really feels like, that conversation has gone dark. It's gone quiet. We're not really going to be doing anything like that. We're kind of good with what we have. We're good with Rashad Bateman being our number one star. We're going to see what he has to offer. Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews, and Lamar Jackson is good to go this season along with those running backs. Let's just see what we got, which I'm fine with. A lot of people still think that we need to go out and get a Julio Jones, get another one of these veteran wide receivers, which before, I'm not going to lie, I was on that train too. But I kind of took time to step back and think about it, and I'm good with what we got, especially considering the type of offense that we run. I'm good with what we got. Yeah.
I'll take Odell in November, but I think we should stick with what we have.
That kind of leads to this question here. Are the Ravens gambling on Bateman's development to be a major wide receiver one in this league? This one coming from Isaiah Pope.
Yes. I think they are gambling, but you take me back without the coaches we have in the receiving room. I'm not going to feel comfortable, but I feel a lot comfortable because I saw Hollywood Brown get 1,000 yards in a run-first offense last year with these guys at coach. Yeah. So I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely like the gamble that they're taking. It's a good bet. It's a good bet because I just don't feel like you should go out and waste the cap space on a wide receiver like you kind of did with Sammy Watkins last year and then not utilize him. That just wouldn't make sense to me. Let's just utilize our young guys.
And to this day, I mean, I see Stephon Diggs, and I'm like, bro, we could have had him.
Yeah.
It really hurts. I think Stephon Diggs, passing on him draft. I hope we got better scouts in that receiving room now. I really do. Because we've missed with some guys.
We have. Brandon says, what is you guys' take on Tylan Wallace?
We both are pretty high on him, I think.
We love
if I can
Tylan,
speak for you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a shame because this is not his year. This will not be his year to get targets. I think if anybody gets more targets in the offense this year is James Prochet over Tylan Wallace. I think Tylan Wallace has at least one more year before he can start getting more reps and things like that. It's kind of crazy how we do with our rookie wide receivers. It's like you come to Baltimore and if you're not a number one, we got you in the first round, you're gonna sit on that bench. and you're gonna be in there. You're gonna be in there special teams too. You know what I mean?
You're going gunner.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's what they love to do. But I mean, our take on Tylan Wallace, man, we've liked him coming out of the draft, man, even before we drafted him. So hopefully we can get him on the field more. But preseason, maybe he can put on a show.
Goodness.
He's gonna be one of those guys that I'm looking for him to put on a massive show in the preseason, so that way he can get some playing time during the regular season.
Oh man, preseason. I'm kind of worried about preseason, just what happened last year. I really hope we don't take any gambles. John, looking at you. All right, set the starters.
Yeah. Let me see. Cameron Gillies says, no, you guys are going to waste Lamar's career like Joe Flacco does. Joe Flacco's career was a waste?
Hey, man, he made $160, $70 million. Got a Super Bowl MVP. Chilling on the bench now, making millions. Listen, that man is smart, all right? His kids are going to go to college full ride. I respect what Joe Flacco did. He got the money, got the ring. Just chilling on the bench in New York behind Zach Wilson. Might have a freaking cigar in his hand, just kick back, legs up. I respect it.
Yeah.
Stole money. He did steal money, Raven Ron, but hey, I'm not gonna knock the hustle. I get it.
Got us a ring. Because listen, I'll tell you one thing. Without that Super Bowl ring that Joe Flacco got us in that 2012 season, we would not be breathing as easy as we are right now.
Yeah.
The climate would be very different in the Ravens flock if we had not had a Super Bowl since 2000. It would be very different. We'd be damn near in the same boat as the Cowboys, and that's not what that's not what we want.
I don't want to be that. No.
Shout out to Joe Flacco, man. You can't ever discount what he did. But we'll take just a few more questions before we wrap up here for this episode of PRP. Still over 100 people watching.
It's been a quick 55 minutes. I'll be honest. It does not feel like 55 minutes.
I know. Let me see. Chike says here, I do not want Julio Jones anywhere near this team. Way too damn injury prone. If anything, I would absolutely take OBJ in a heartbeat. No questions asked whatsoever. But I mean,
OBJ he is injury prone. I'll give him he is, but
prone to injury.
I would listen. I'd take OBJ in November. I wouldn't take him right because they said he probably will be back in October. I doubt it. He'll be kicking the kicking net again on the sidelines if he plays here. I guarantee you.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Let me see. Bryce H asking here, do you think Kyrie Irving will get traded? Kind of shift into some basketball stuff. I like it. I think he will get traded, honestly. Like, just the way that Kyrie Irving is, like, you know how people say in the NFL, like, wide receivers are divas, things like that. Kyrie Irving, he's a diva. He's a diva in the league, man. He'll probably get bounced around to some other organization. I would hope for him to go to the Lakers. I want him to go to the Lakers. Team up with LeBron again. Let's run it back, you know? I want to see what that looks like in 2022-23.
I have nothing to say. I mean, I think he's fun to watch, but I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope he doesn't go to the Knicks so Stephen A. Smith has another meltdown. That's it. Or if he does go to the Knicks. If he went to the Knicks, Stephen A. Smith would have a bigger meltdown because, like, Stephen A. hates him. So I hope he goes to the Knicks. Never mind. I would love that.
Stephen A. is so, like, wishy-washy. He's so back and forth on things.
I need him screaming.
Raven Ron here. We'll go ahead and wrap it up with this one. Says, will Kyle Hamilton solve our Jamar Chase problem? Hey, man, that's the hope. That is the idea. It's not just Jamar Chase. It's Stephon Diggs. It's Tyreek Hill. It's, who knows? I mean, it could be freaking Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Sky Moore this year against the Chiefs. There's all Justin Herbert with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. There's all these big name wide receivers.
We don't play the Chargers or the Chiefs. Hopefully we see them in the playoffs, though. Hopefully.
That's what I'm saying. In the playoffs, like when we're going to have to play the best of the best teams, all the best teams in the AFC have game-breaking wide receivers. So what do you do to combat a game-breaking wide receiver? You get a game-breaking secondary, which is kind of what we have now. So, yeah, I think that Kyle Hamilton is supposed to solve our Jamar Chase problem. I think that's the idea. That's the concept. But we'll see.
I'll throw Marcus Williams in there, too. Definitely a revamped secondary. We need that, but it starts with a pass rush, I believe, too. I mean, if you get to him quick, do you want to worry about him taking one deep on you? But we'll see. We'll definitely see.
I think the point is here, Alex, is that the Ravens want to make teams pay for going deep. Like, you got it. You're going to pay. If you go deep on us,
we got to learn how to tackle. That one Jamar Chase, you got to learn how to tackle. I mean, three or four dudes, like, missed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of things, but I think that's all the time we have today, unfortunately.
Real quick, before we get out of here, how tall is Kyle Hamilton? Do you know off the top of your head?
I can look it up for you right now. I got you.
Man, because Kyle Hamilton, man, like, the taller, because he has great closeout speed. 6'4", you know, playing in that safety position. I just think that if he makes it to whatever side or quadrant of the field the ball is getting thrown to, he can go up over the top of anybody and make a play on the football.
Pass deflection, pass breakup, interception, big hit. I like his chances.
Yeah. Yeah, and appreciate all you guys in the chat for
damn, no, quick
6'4". I know, right?
Damn.
The Purple Rain research team. We love it.
Love that.
Appreciate you guys so much, man. But yeah, I mean, leave what you think about Kyle Hamilton, what he can actually bring to this defense down below. Is he the answer to Jamar Chase and, you know, the Tyler Boyds and the Stephon Diggs and all these other receivers in the AFC, T. Higgins, all these other receivers in the AFC? Is he the answer? Leave that down below in the comments. Again, thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 119. I'll keep saying it, man. We're getting old. We're getting up there. 119 in the books. This is your boy Sutton Def. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see down below. You can find this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10 or on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. You can find both of us and the entire Rain Gang on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, just like you see down below. And I would be remiss, didn't bring it up just yet, but listen, you can still go on manscaped.com and you can get 20% off your Manscaped order plus free shipping if you use our code PRP.
It doesn't get much better than that at all.
It doesn't. And you know, it's so funny. The slogan for Manscaped is like, your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious. I just find that completely hilarious, man. It just goes to show you they're a fun-loving company, and who doesn't love fun, man? Just go on their website, see what they have. I don't be a fun hater. Exactly,
I hate
Alex.
those people. I hate those people.
Killing the fun.
Like, it's like that Twitter interaction. Like, I can say I like pancakes. and some bitch is gonna say you hate waffles. No,
That's
two
a
completely
wholly
different things.
different conversation.
Like, come on now.
I remember that. Yeah.
Enjoy the fun. Enjoy the fun.
Enjoy the fun, man. Enjoy the fun. Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Save 20% off your order plus free shipping using the code PRP. With that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out for the evening.
Thank you for coming through to episode 119 of the Purple Rain podcast. Oh, and like K-Dog said, happy late Father's Day to everybody, by the way. Hope you had a great Father's Day to those who are fathers. So I hope that Lamar Jackson got a card from his sons, the Cleveland Browns. Probably didn't, but who knows? But until then, we will see you on Thursday with another episode, another installment of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
And never, ever, ever forget to call God